Hi there, you're in the lab with your mate JJ. Today is Interlude. We're going to do our favourite thing. We're going to be making a cable. So it's going to be a pretty simple video today. Just going to switch these alligator clips out for some male jumper pins. They've got BNC on the other end. I use them on my oscilloscope. Up here you can see I've got the two plugged in at the moment. So these are just instead of using the actual probe that comes with the thing, I just put some jumper leads on here so that I can just stick them straight into a breadboard, rather than futz around with the probe and its ground alligator clip. Having two jumpers just seemed to be a bit easier to me. Of course, it does mean I can't run it at 10 times compensation or whatever. I just have to run it straight in, but that's okay, I think, for the kind of work that I'm doing, which is only around, 9 or 12 volts or something like that. So I have done this before. That's how I got these two bits of cable, and I just got some of my jumpers and attached them here. That's what we'll be doing today. I was working on the J-Car and Silicon Chip Mini Project number 3, and I needed to do some debugging, and I found myself using my two BNC to jumper pins cables, and I actually needed a third cable to measure an extra thing, and I didn't have one available. So that's why we're going to take a break today and do this little interlude and make ourselves two cables. They're both going to be the same type, BNC to jumper pin. I have also ordered some new ones. So I have these ones spare. I don't tend to use the BNC to alligator very much, but I bought some more anyway, and I can hopefully keep them in that coil of stuff up the top there. So yeah. Anyway, look, let's jump over to the bench and put this thing together. It probably won't take us very long. So. Alright, here on the bench. I'm going to need the soldering iron, so let's put our soldering iron on. And let's put some water in our sponge. Okay, these are the cables we'll be taking apart, and this is one of the cables that's already made. I made them out of the same things. They seem to be the same, so that's good. We're going to need to have one red, one black, and we'll cut it in half. We're going to need some shrink wrap. Just give me 1 second, I'll be back. I'm back, and I got this, which is just some shrink wrap that looks about the right size to me. So we'll chop off some bits of that. Now I've got a box full of jumper wire over here. So we're going to want something that's roughly twice as long as this. What about this? That looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm going to need a black one as well. What have we got here? It's a bit too short. A nice long black one. Too short. Some black ones down the bottom there. Maybe they'll be big. Who knows? Nope, too short. Some black ones in there. Too short. Not having much luck.
Oh, lots of black ones, but no nice long one. I'll time lapse this search. Okay, look. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use 2 small ones rather than 1 big one cut in half, and I'll do that for both red and black. So that big red one can go back in there. We won't be needing that. So that ought to do it. If we just chop the ends off down the bottom here, that'll be roughly the right length, so that'll be good. Now we're going to need to cut, so let's get ready to do that. Alright, so first things first, let's chop the zip ties off the cable. And then we're going to have to chop the alligator clips off the cables as well. We'll just see. We'll just do one at a time. Alright. So let's just do the same. So along to there. Say clip about there. Alright. Now we're going to need wire stripper. Why am I not seeing the wire stripper? This ought to do it. There should be. Oh, there he is. I'll just put it on the wrong bench. This is my preferred wire stripper. Although it does only go up to 20 gauge. I wonder, is that enough? Alright. Not sure what I'm going to do with these off-cut alligator leads. Alright. Well, that looked about right, didn't it? Now, how are we going to join these? I'm not sure. We're going to need to strip this as well. So let's just do the 2. One red, one black. Now, let's call it 26 gauge, I reckon. There we go. And same again, 26 gauge. There we go. Now, how are we going to do this? I'm tempted to just mush them together and then put solder on. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Or maybe I'll bend them around each other. Now before we solder these on, we'll put some shrink wrap over the top. Heat shrink. I always call it shrink wrap. Heat shrink. So let's just chop a bit of this off here. Where's he gone? There. Alright. Bring him over the top. Alright, well, I guess we'll see. So if we hook this around like that, and we hook this around like that, and we hook them together, and maybe we can twist them closed over each other. And then if we stick some solder on there, have I got solder? No, I have to cut myself a piece of solder. Now I'm not sure if we need the third hand for this. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Let's grab him out here. Alright. Well, let's put some solder on. Can you see that? I think you can. It's fairly good to me. So how did we do? Pretty well, I think. So let's turn our hot air on. Alright. And let's just do the shrink wrap now, I guess. Heat shrink, not shrink wrap. It looks like it's going to be too tight. This is too small. Oh, how annoying. Almost went over. I'm going to try crushing this and see if I can make it smaller. Not sure if that worked or not. Still a bit hot. I'll wait for it to cool down so that it doesn't shrink the stuff while I'm trying to put it over the top. So going to go over almost. It's almost come over. A bit jammed up there. I suppose the big question is, are we going to do the same thing for the black one, or are we going to learn from our mistake? Oh dear me, it's almost there. I wonder if we can use these. There we go. Huh. Well, that was a bit of an effort, wasn't it? Are we going to do the same for black? I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. Well, we seem to have got that one done pretty well. I'm really not sure if it's a good idea to continue using the same size heat shrink. Still, we did get away with it, so maybe we'll get away with it again. What do you reckon? Let's see. We'll give it a go. Oh well, I suppose we'll see. Just going to drown it in solder again like I did the last one. Well, who knows? Wait for it to cool down a bit. Alright, well, fingers crossed that we can get this heat shrink up. Yeah, we got him. Use our tweezers again like we did last time. Oop. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there we go. It is a bit fiddly, but it did work. Alright, well, there it is. One BNC to jumpers. Now I've got another one to do, but I'll probably just time-lapse that, I reckon. So yeah, let's time-lapse the next one. And that's it. So we've managed to make our two cables. They look pretty good to me. I suppose for the sake of completeness, we should just buzz them out to make sure that they're actually working. And that should be pretty easy to do. Let's use our new EUV blog scope for that. So these are the cables, and we'll put him off and we'll put him into continuity mode. Looks like continuity mode to me, and yep, that's working. Alright, so we want the outside to go to black and give it a good proper connection. Yep, that's good. And we want the inside to go to red. Very good. And we want to make sure that they're not shorted. And they're not shorted. Very good. So let's do the same on the other one. We're going to want the outside on black. Yep. And we're going to want the inside on red. Yep. And we're going to want to make sure that they're not shorted. So Yep, they're not shorted. Alright, well, that's done. So I'll throw over the farewell cam and we'll wrap up.
That's a wrap. So we've got ourselves 2 new BNC to jumper pin cables for plugging our oscilloscope into a breadboard. That's what these are for. So we've got 2 new ones that we've just made to go with our 2 old ones, which we already had. So we've got 4 in total, which is 1 for every channel on the scope. Of course, it doesn't leave any spare for the signal generator, but perhaps if I needed to use the signal generator, I wouldn't need to use all 4 channels on the scope. Anyway, certainly at the moment, 4 cables is surplus to requirements. So yeah, pretty pleased to have that job done, and also to have a video for Tuesday. So yeah, this video is coming out this evening, and then I'm going to try and buffer a few so that there's more coming out in the near future. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and please remember to hit like and subscribe.